infotainment system.
Wow.
Yeah. I've had 2 reports of Jeeps being stolen in my neighborhood. I was concerned for a little bit, but then I realized, wait a minute, I don't own any garbage. So
Wow.
It's fine.
Yeah, they take them right off the dealer lot here in St. Louis.
Yeah. Now I've heard of that where people would go test drive Mercedes, clone the key with something in their pocket, and then come back later and take the car off the lot.
Yes.
But it sounds like they can literally just walk up to any Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, which maybe that's a feature. Maybe that's Dodge's way of getting rid of their 300 days worth of vehicles they have. Like, if we make them really easy to steal, then we won't have to sell them.
Right. It'd be like on Oprah. You get a car, you get a car,
exactly.
you get a car.
Yeah.
If your insurance goes up, like, does it go up per theft, or does it just go up the one time? Because if it just goes up one time, you can just have your whole lot stolen.
But the dealership could just be like, well, it's not our problem. It's not we didn't design the easiness to be stolen.
It couldn't have been my fault. I wasn't even watching what I was doing.
Exactly.
You think you hate it now? Wait till you drive
it. Speaking of which, are you excited for the new Honda Nissans?
No.
I know I am. Here's my hope, is Honda designs the looks and Nissan designs the engines.
Yeah, and not the transmission.
Yeah. And no, it's all CVT. Just everything is CVT.
I don't care. I just hate driving behind a Nissan Rogue because I never know where it's going.
True enough.
Well, we are live. We've been live for a minute or two, and we've got Chris from Fox Can Fix It Garage is in the house.
Chris.
We've also got J-Ride Customs.
Hello, Chris.
Cheers, coming from Winnipeg.
Guys,
welcome to the Christmas live stream. Cheers.
Cheers.
And Merry Christmas. So all we're going to be doing here tonight really is just kind of getting together. We are missing the 4th cog of the wheel. Our boy Grant was going to join us, and unfortunately has come down with this new fandangled flu. I don't know, some pandemic related thing. I don't know what it was, but anyways,
I thought it was
not up to the
Pabst Blue Ribbon. No, that's not the beer. What's the beer that's named after? I can't remember now.
The Pabst Blue Flu.
Yeah. Nope, Jason is frozen, so I guess it's our show now. Hold on, let me give him a flick. We'll just No, it was internet. Crapped out. See,
Give me a hit.
All right, yeah. We need to adjust the rabbit ears. Anybody got tin foil? Who's got some tin foil? We get the rabbit ears adjusted there. See if we can't bring Jason back. Anyway, John, how are things down your way?
Oh man, incredible!
Oh look, Jason's back.
That helped.
Oh, there you go.
Jason's back.
There we go.
Oh, sweet.
Back again.
Yeah, Jason has the green screen of death here.
Nice.
Yes.
Jason goes.
This hat is just way too warm.
Wow.
Oh, but that was rabbit ears. Now we're going to get terrible reception.
Right.
Yeah.
I tried adjusting my thing, and I think that's what helped you come back.
Maybe.
I realize why I like being bald. It's not so warm.
Yeah.
So yes, how is everything down your way, John?
Oh, good. It rained like an absolute fool the past couple weeks, and everything flooded, but it's fine.
No cars lost in the floods?
No, nothing that I had. No problems I had. It's been almost 70 degrees the past week.
Okay.
So Christmas is kind of odd in shorts.
Yeah, we're supposed to have a white or green Christmas as well. I think, Jason, you have no snow now anymore, do you?
We've got just a dusting that a little squall rolled through here today, but mostly it's been pretty brown. So
okay. Yeah, it seems to be pretty par for the course, except in Winnipeg, where J-Ride is. They've got all of it, and they can keep it.
Yeah. They got what New Brunswick got all winter last winter. They got that in one storm.
They did, yeah. I have friends in Winnipeg who were live streaming during the last snowstorm. And I was laughing because I was showing them video footage of nothing.
It's currently here. It is 2 degrees Celsius. So that's what? 30 degrees, 29 degrees Fahrenheit.
4 degrees Fahrenheit? I don't know.
Sorry, -2.
-2. Oh, -2. Sorry. So yeah, 30 degrees.
Anyways, it's below zero. Yep.
What
30 degrees
here?
with a, I don't know, 2 or 3 degree chill going on there.
Ryan, I saw your vintage.
And King Eric is way the heck out in Seattle, so he's getting.
It's 8 degrees here right now, Celsius. So it's quite warm.
Ryan, I saw your vintage game console set up. You had like 30 consoles or something.
Yeah, we had it set up for the kids. So part of the curriculum for grade 10 computer science here in Newfoundland is they have to experience old tech. But the funny part of it is it talks about doing it through like watching videos and using emulators to emulate the equipment. And I was like, I don't know, shag that. We're doing the real thing. So I brought in all the Commodores and the Apple IIs, and they love the kids. I've never seen kids get so excited to play the Oregon Trail. Like, they were so excited to die of dysentery. It was best thing I've ever seen. A bunch of really excited grade 7s.
I just love beef jerky.
Right. Here's one thing I don't understand about the Oregon Trail. So it's kind of one of the gripes I have with it. You play the game. You have to have so many oxen when you leave.
Right.
If an oxen dies, your food ration doesn't go up. Now, see, that seems wasteful. I feel like the original pioneers would be like, well, we're sorry that Bill the oxen died, but meat's on the menu again tonight, boys.
Right.
Like,
we
just
push that thing over in the fire.
Yeah. Just let it slow cook. Right? Anyway, I always thought that was kind of funny.
Everyone died of dysentery.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's bad to make fun of Terry. If you diss Terry, you might die.
True. That is true.
And actually, it's funny you should say that, because I actually have this Hallmark Christmas ornament, which is You've died of dysentery.
Which game was harder to play? Oregon Trail or what's Dragon's Lair?
Dragon's Lair? Dragon's Lair was neat because it was the first one to use like pre-recorded images, and it was basically just like you went somewhere and then it played a video, even though it was animated. My camera's not focused. Focus. Anyway, I would say Dragon's Lair is probably harder, but Oregon Trail is more educational.
Yeah.
We also had one here in Canada called Cross Country Canada, which is where it was kind of like Oregon Trail, but you went across Canada as a trucker, and you had to learn about like hauling loads and taking getting gas and rationing your fuel, and it was always a fun one. I remember playing that a lot when I was
avoiding
ice road truckers.
What's that? What did you say, Jason?
I said avoiding lot lizards.
Avoiding lot lizards, yeah. That was always the joke, Don't kill any prostitutes.
Right.
King Eric the Greatest says, Ryan, did you play the original Wolfenstein on Apple II? I
did, yeah. I actually have it on my Apple II, or have it for my Apple II. It's a fun game. It's not like you remember Wolfenstein at all. In fact, the company Muse, who made it, lost the intellectual property rights to it, and that's actually how 3D Realms or ID Software, was able to acquire it to make Return to Castle Wolfenstein and Wolfenstein 3D, which became very popular 20-odd years later in the early 90s. It's a very cool story.
We used to play E.T. Pro quite a bit, which was kind of like the last iteration of the Wolfenstein series.
Yeah, Enemy Territories, love it. Great game.
Oh my gosh!
And on the wall back here somewhere, there's a box copy of Enemy Territories somewhere over here.
Yeah,
I was a Doom player.
Of course, classic.
Duke Nukem.
Yeah, Duke Nukem 3D. My kid's trying to play Duke Nukem 3D, and I had to make sure I had the parental version turned on, because there's a lot of like, and I want to say 8-bit, but it's not even 8-bit. It's like 2-bit naked ladies in Duke Nukem. If you don't get the parental.
It's the money for nothing video.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. I enjoy the fact that I polished my head in the Shino Ballo at the local bowling alley. So.
Shino Ballo.
I told Jason I hate golf, and I'm never going to use that thing. It said, clean your balls here.
John has never been allowed back on the golf course again.
Right. And that's the reason I'm not allowed to golf.
And I'll be honest, it wasn't very gentle.
No.
Oh, shit.
It was like a boot brush. Bristly.
Oh.
Why am I big? What am I supposed to show off? 5-pin bowling? No, we actually don't have 5-pin here in Newfoundland. It's all
Hang
10
on
pin.
1 second. Yes.
I'm gonna need your help for a minute.
Okay. I have to go. I got to run, guys. Bye.
All right. Bye, John.
Bye.
He'll be back.
Thank God he's gone.
Oh,
Are we laid out based on geographical location on a map of Canada?
no. Well, technically, yes.
Yeah, technically we are.
You're on my right, so.
Mm-hmm. By the way, anybody in the chat, if you're looking to get yourself an Olde Carr Guy beer koozie, you can't have one like this because this one is green and it's a prototype. But you can have yourself a nice blue one. I don't know where he went. I'm guessing to get a beer koozie. See, these are why we have to have things ready so we're not leaving the stream. Professionals.
Yeah, so the whole point, honestly, 100%. I wanted to go with the green until we realized that green. I run with a green screen when I go live. And if you run the green, it just disappears.
It's true, it does.
So I end up going with the blue.
Still kind of does it, but not to the same extent.
So if I hold it here, whereas the green ones, if I held it in front of me, it would still kind of disappear.
See, I say koozie because that's how it was always, and it was always spelled with a K for me.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, okay, so
K-O-O, koo, the long
Z,
O.
yeah. But I think that might actually be like a trademark name, like when we call things Kleenex. I think that's like the. Anyway,
technically, when we buy these from the supplier, they're can coolers with a
can coolers.
C-O-O. So,
where the hell did that
go? What's everybody drinking tonight?
Like I said, I've actually was off stream. Last week or this week past, a friend of mine reached out to me. He owns a brewery here in Newfoundland. It's called Bannerman Brewing, or Bannerman Brewing Co., I should say. And he was looking for some retro tech actually for a new beer that they're about to launch. So he borrowed one of my Tandy 1000s to star in a new ad campaign for the beer. But the new beer is called Dial Up, which I think is the best name for a beer ever. Here's the can, and the picture on it is supposed to represent the curls in a telephone cord, like an old style rotary telephone. Yeah. Anyway, it's called Dial Up. You can find it only in Newfoundland, and it's only going to run for, I think he only produced 1,500 cans or 3,000 cans. I can't remember. Anyway, it's going to be a Christmas sell, so we'll see how long it lasts. But I haven't opened it yet. I don't know how it tastes. Apparently, it's very good. I am drinking one called Safe Bet, which is a same producer, slightly different flavor. This one is a little too hoppy for me, but I'll suffer through.
Chris says in Montreal they call it a koozie. Tonight I've got the Moosehead Small Batch.
Okay.
It's their IPA.
So I got a question about Moosehead.
No.
What do they do with the rest of the moose after they brew the beer? Like, is it wasted, or do they also sell steak and?
It gets
roast?
sold to Maple Leaf, and they make wieners.
Oh, perfect. Moose wieners.
Moose wieners. Fucking huge.
Welcome back, John. The stream's already degraded. You've only been gone for 2 minutes.
That's true. This is what happens when I leave.
Oh shoot!
My blind dog was stuck under my bed.
It goes straight to hell.
Sin. Did you find its way out?
I did. I helped him. He was not happy.
No. You need to get him a smaller dog to be a seeing eye dog.
Yes. I was going to strap him to a radio-controlled car.
Oh, that works too.
Haul him around the house.
Do they sell BC ciders in the Maritime? I don't know. See, our liquor corporation here is owned by the province, and what they bring in is basically whatever they want. There's no real rhyme or reason to it.
I'm not a big cider drinker, so I don't go looking for it. So I wouldn't be able to tell you if we did, even if it was. I'd have to check the liquor website.
Liquor, I hardly know her.
Wow.
Sorry.
I thought you were going to tell me your favorite cider was from the company Dickens.
Don't even. My wife likes that stuff.
Dickens cider. That's a great cider.
Usually served warm.
Oh my God, we are going to get so demonetized on this episode.
Now, there's usually a lot of head on Dick and Cider.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of cream close to the top.
Who invited you to? Jeez Louise.
Listen. You're our friend, so what does that say about you?
Tells me a lot.
There is a block button.
Mute.
I'll just remote into your computer and
Hey
delete.
John, watch this. Watch this, John.
What? Sweet. Oh, damn it.
You should have heard what he said about you when you laughed earlier, too, by the way.
Okay, bye.
Good times. So yeah, what else is going on in people's lives? What's going on? How do you hold your liquor?
I keep it in my mouth.
I prefer a liquor cabinet for mine. I can't imagine driving around and walking around with a mouthful of liquor all the time. You kind of
James Lego says a cold day IPA brewed by Montauk.
It's my choice size.
It's Montauk, isn't that in New York?
Maybe. Sounds East Coast-ish.
James, are you in New York, like Long Island?
I'm walking here. Sorry. It's the extent of my knowledge in New York. Thank you and good night. Long Island.
See? I knew it.
Now, is it true about the iced tea?
What about it?
What about
It has liquor in it.
Liquor.
Right. Liquor.
King Harry says in Newfoundland, is the Apple II the latest tech? No, we still got the Apple I. We haven't upgraded to the 2 yet.
He's still got the wooden keyboard.
Yeah, it's true. Speaking of which, I recently bought this at an auction. Only because I love how it confuses children.
Oh, nice.
What do you mean your phone attaches to the wall?
Yeah.
Must be a demonstrator model. It's only got the 6-foot cord.
Yeah, she's only got the small furnace. Yeah. But it's amazing how complex these were. And they're all made in Canada. Even the American ones. Made in Canada.
Nice.
Made by
Nortel. One of our biggest exports at the time. Made by Nortel. Which went bankrupt and took a lot of our Canadian pension with it.
Wow.
So, John, what is going on in the
great state of Illinois?
Great state of Illinois as far as St. Louis snow cones goes. You guys must be right out straight.
Oh, I haven't slept in days. We just keep working and working. I was hanging out with Santa's elves earlier today.
Nice.
Got great pictures of the arch. I sent them to Jason.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, he sent me some pictures of the St. Louis Arch off in the distance. Must have been maybe 5 or 6 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
And he was up on the 21st floor of an office building doing a catering event. So if you guys don't know, John's day job now, he used to be a car restoration guy, body guy, but now him and his wife run St. Louis Snow Cones, which is a catering business, and they do all kinds of events. And of course, as you get into Christmas and Christmas parties, tends to be a very busy time of the year. So we're lucky that we have him here tonight. He literally walks in the door, goes downstairs and collects on his camera.
Yep.
To join us tonight, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I was just at an event. I still smell like hot chocolate.
Oh, there's worse things to smell like, I suppose.
That's true.
So, out of curiosity, it must be a very difficult job. But whose job is it to wrap the arch in Christmas tree lights?
Oh,
I feel like that.
They do that with a stunt airplane.
Oh, okay. It's one of those Red Bull planes. Just comes in. And,
Yes.
Gotcha. That makes total sense.
Yes.
King Eric the Greatest just asked, does John have a favorite classic car? I think I know what it is, but go ahead,
I think
John.
I know what it is too.
Actually, I'll tell you what I think it is.
What do you think it is?
Because when we were at SEMA in Vegas, the one car that stopped you dead in your tracks was this Olds Cutlass 442 convertible, this light blue one that you were all over it.
I was.
And you had a hard time picking it apart. That would be my guess as to John's favorite car. How about you, Brian? What do you?
I'm going to guess a 1932 Bugatti Atlantic.
I've never seen one of those.
It's a beautiful car. It was made of magnesium.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I don't know what that is.
The car shop that's here in Ontario, what are they called?
Guild.
The Guild. They recreated one because none of them exist anymore. They're
Mhm.
completely gone. They recreated one from scratch over the course of about 5 years for a sheik in the Middle East somewhere. It is a beautiful car.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Well,
and it's made of magnesium, and you cannot weld magnesium, and
No.
you have to work at it at a certain temperature. If you go too hot, it bursts into flames. You can't put it
Yes.
out, and if
Yes.
it's too cold, it cracks.
Yes.
So, very easy.
Right. Jason has got the death circle.
That's okay. That's fine. We'll hold we're holding the show up anyway. It's not like
We are holding.
he's doing.
My back's
anything.
hurting from holding the.
I know
whole-
it's the weight of. I feel like Atlas holding up the world here, right?
It is true.
Oh, and he's back.
Well, I can certainly tell you to answer because I'm a body man and I like cutting stuff up. I would probably say a 49 to 50 chopped Mercury.
That's a good choice.
Tail dragger, skirts, white walls. Gotta be chopped.
What's the interior look like? Modern
Tuck and roll.
or original?
No, it's got to be 50s era tuck and roll.
Okay.
Yep. And
what's in it for an engine?
I'm into all sorts of stuff. I love the silly show rods. You know, the ones like a manure spreader. And, you know, when it's got a big giant engine on it. Kind of a beer keg for the back of it, and it's got a huge blower and all sorts of craziness. A lot of the stuff that Dave Schutten has restored.
Okay.
I love show rods.
Eric, there's no such thing.
Shut up.
I can get a nice Cordoba. Now, wait a second. I know what all of those words mean separately.
But I've never seen them.
I've never seen them in the same sentence.
So, seeing how we're on the topic of everyone's favorite car, I'll give you a hint on what mine is. I don't currently own one, and it comes from the 60s. So, if you guys can tell me what you think my favorite car is, I'll gladly entertain.
Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, 1962.
Wow.
He's frozen with the light. See? Frozen with the light. Yes, made with fine Corinthian leather.
Right.
Isn't Corinthian leather a thing that's made up? Like it's not a thing. It was
It's
just
not
a
a
marketing
thing.
ploy.
It is a marketing ploy. It is generic materials. But
Low grade leather.
He invented that word.
Yeah. It's like Haagen-Dazs. It's not actually a thing. It's not a word. It's not
No.
It's made by a couple of guys in New York.
Right.
Or New Jersey, I think maybe.
Right.
Maybe. So John, what are you currently driving daily? What's your daily driver these days?
My daily is my Jeep, my 89 Jeep Cherokee.
Right. Those are actually becoming very collectible.
Oh, very much so. Price on that thing is going way up. I just bought rocker panels for it. I just bought outer quarter extensions and a tilt steering column, new leather steering wheel.
Is it Corinthian leather?
I don't know if it's Corinthian leather. It's fine. It's fine though.
Now, is it? Did you buy the upgrade for your car, your seatbelts to make them out of fine Saskatchewan sealskin bindings?
No,
Because
these are
important.
genuine butt skin.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I saw a guy recently purchase a Wagoneer, like an older Wagoneer, and those things are expensive.
Oh yeah, company called Wagon Master.
Yeah.
If you want to flip out, go on Wagon Master's website and look at a 84 Jeep Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, restored from them is over $100,000.
So basically, the new Wagoneer is the same price as the old Wagoneer.
That's correct. Except the new Wagoneer will be stuck on the side of the road, and the old Wagoneer can help pull it out.
No, it'll also be stuck on the side of the road. A lot of people seem to forget how terrible that generation Jeep was.
Well, you can't stop my Jeep, that's for sure.
Well, that's because the brake lines are busted, but that's unrelated.
No.
That thing drove from St. Louis to Las Vegas and back.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a classic. It's a tough vehicle to get in the back seat in. I will say that. But
that is correct.
It is tough. Those things are tough as nails.
Foxit says it correctly. It's rot that kills the Jeeps. Like,
yeah.
Well, if you live up this way, rot that kills everything, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
there are some cars that seem to rot a lot faster than others. Let's be honest. There are some, I don't know if it's design choices or material choices or a bit of column A, column B, but there does seem to be a lot of cars. Like, as much as we love the K car, how often do you see one driving around these days?
I own one.
Well, that's different.
Almost never.
You're special. But yeah, I can't, like, other than a scattered Dodge Shadow convertible that came out that they were using to drive around in the summertime, you very rarely see them around here.
Yeah,
but they were sold in the millions.
Yeah.
So before I got bumped by my internet being a complete and utter jerk, did anybody take any guesses? I saw somebody say a 69 Newport, and that would be wrong.
I kind of think I know, and I'm not going to say yet.
Okay, Ryan,
can I ask a question? Is it a car or a truck?
No, it's a car.
It's
I will give you that.
Okay. And it's obviously domestic.
Yeah, car, domestic, from the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
69 Charger.
No.
Nope. No. 68 John? Thunderbird.
God, no. I hope you weren't serious when you said that.
That's a face only a mother could love.
Yeah.
So, Fox Can Fix It is right on the model. Okay. Anybody care to guess the year?
68 or 69, because Supernatural, the TV show.
No.
No? Okay. Earlier then. I prefer the older.
Way earlier.
What did he guess? I don't have the
Impala.
I don't have the script.
He said Impala.
Yeah.
Ah.
John, on your screen, if you hit the comments button,
you
should be able to see the comments coming up there.
Where's the comments button? Oh, the little bubble?
Yeah, it should be to the right of your watch. Or are you on a phone or on a computer?
I am on a phone.
Ah, that's why. Yeah, you won't see them.
I see it. I hit them.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay, perfect.
And then it made everything even smaller.
Glenn Nickerson, Canadian domestic, a Bricklin.
Wow.
I mean, it was built in New Brunswick, so you're not,
Yeah, only 60 miles down the road.
Right.
Well, so enough, that's as far as they're actually able to drive.
Well, hey. So my favorite car is a 62 Impala.
Wow.
Okay.
I think the 62 is, in my opinion, is just the most stylish. But I'm drawn to it because when I was a kid, like 6, 7, and 8 years old, my dad had one. It was a 2-door hardtop, and it was a great car, beautiful dark blue with the white stripe down the chrome or aluminum or whatever it was, stainless trim down the side. It was not an SS, but it did have a V8 in it.
Cool.
And if I
ever came,
what's that?
You know which V8 it had?
I don't remember what he had, and I'm guessing it was probably just like a 283 or something like that.
Okay.
But my dad is, being 73 years old, almost 74. If I could find one day for him to putter away at in his retirement, I know he would appreciate it because he loves those cars, and I would love to see one of those done up basically the same as what he had, only with clearly better brakes and better suspension and more powerful drivetrain and just an ultimate cruiser.
And a Phi-Tech that he can jam in the hood and the windshield and brake, and a gas gauge that doesn't work properly, and it'll be a whole family event. It'll be lovely.
Yeah. Ryan, what's your favorite car?
Oh, this is going to surprise some people. It's going to surprise some people.
It's because it's not going to be a Volkswagen.
Well, I mean, it might be a Volkswagen. It's a 2022 Tesla Model S.
You're so full of shit. Get into your straight face.
Sorry.
Wow.
See, it depends on what you're talking about. Oh, God, there's a hammer.
A 2024 fiber truck.
Have you been watching those videos where it's the voiceover of the woman? It's like, so you're there having a great day, and all of a sudden a Cybertruck shows up to ruin your day.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, I'm thoroughly enjoying all the videos of the Cybertrucks getting stuck in what snow that my Volkswagen Golf can easily get out of.
The cyber stuck.
Yeah, the cyber stuck.
Okay, we're not going down that road tonight.
Yeah, we're not going down that road.
Let's get off the friggin'
It's a very polarizing topic.
Let's get off the dumpster truck. I mean,
dumpster fire. It's the Twitter of trucks.
Your theory about electricity is either positive or negative.
Yeah. And you know what? This is a very important live stream. We should conduct ourselves appropriately.
Either way, we
may end up being grounded.
We need to stay current.
We do need to stay current, though.
Oh, wow.
All right, everybody got their puns out?
No.
We should be put in the punitentiary.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, don't forget to hit that like button, especially if you like puns. Hey, Grant's here. Hey, Grant.
Hey, Grant.
Welcome.
Well, that's good. Rest up, buddy.
Kansas,
and again,
I've
said it before. I'm going to say it again. Congratulations on fatherhood.
There you go.
It's
Congrats.
a good look for you. Cool. For me, it depends on what you're talking about. Like, I like trucks and cars, and there's lots of things. Like, I can't pick one. I mean, if I had to pick a car, I like the Carmen Ghia, but it's terribly unreliable. It's pretty to look at. I like the Scirocco. Again, it's pretty to look at. It's kind of unreliable. I really like the DeLorean. It's pretty to look at. It's terribly unreliable. You see a trend here. I'm attracted to unreliable things.
The Bricklin. It's pretty to look at.
But, so for me, I don't know. I think I guess if I had to have one car for the rest of my life and there was no issue with it, I probably would pick a Beetle or a bus. I really like my Eurovan that I have. I really like anything with a diesel.
Hey, there's my friend Charlotte.
Hey, Charlotte.
How you doing, Charlotte?
Welcome it's Charlotte and Emma, apparently.
Oh, Emma's there, too.
Oh, Emma's there, too.
Awesome.
Those are two of my employees.
Oh. See, there's if we get on the live stream, the boss will give us a raise.
They are both sick. They had the sniffles today, so I had to cover for everyone.
Oh, there you go.
So one of those sporty. Oh yeah, there was a Brazilian VW that was specific to. Well, there's a lot of Volkswagens that are specific to Brazil. It's almost like an entire population of Germans moved to Latin America, South America after 1946. It's really weird. But anyway, yeah, they have their own Volkswagens and they have a really cool sporty one that's kind of built on the Carmen Ghia platform, but looks way nicer than the Carmen Ghia, even though the Carmen Ghia is beautiful. Yeah. So to answer your question, if it has a diesel and it's a Volkswagen, I probably like it. So.
Wow.
We won't hold that against you.
That's fine.
I try not to hold anything against Ryan.
Yeah. Although technically with my size, I have my own gravity, so it's a bit difficult.
Wow.
Listen, you got to hate on yourself before the haters get to you. That way they can't hurt
true.
you.
Ryan, don't worry about the haters. Remember what I said about the haters?
What?
You're bigger than that.
Yeah, I'm bigger than them. Yeah. Also, any publicity is good publicity when you're in YouTube land. Remember, likes are just as good as dislikes.
Yes.
Make sure you hit that dislike button.
Interaction.
Well, it's funny because, talking about a little bit about YouTube. Maybe we'll talk about that for a couple of minutes. Jason will often send me hilarious. I'm sure he does it for you too, John. Hilarious screenshots of comments on his videos, and some of them are amazing, and some of them enrage me. And I'm like, I got to go comment on this, but I'm like, no,
right.
But some of them are pretty hilarious.
It gets pretty bad sometimes,
yeah.
Where people don't realize that it's for fun.
Mm-hmm.
You poke the bear, and you poke the bear, and you poke the bear, and then they wonder why they're mad.
Yeah, but
the majority of the videos, the short videos that I'll pull out, a lot of them are specifically poking. It's not necessarily my opinion. It's an opinion that may not be popular.
Yeah, like your Ford video from today.
and they go at each other in the comments. It's like, perfect. That's exactly what I was going for.
You're tickling the algorithm. This
That's
is only to
right.
tickle the algorithm. But like the Ford video you posted,
Yeah.
I've never seen so many people come to the defense of Chevy and Dodge.
Yeah, right.
Like you said something terrible, and Ford to some extent. Like, you know, here's the thing: if it's got, I can't say that on YouTube. If it's got a word that begins with T or tires, it's gonna cost you money,
Yes.
That's true.
right? Like
The video that I talked about I mentioned very briefly about Canada becoming the 51st state,
right.
and then I went on to bash Canada for all of its downfalls,
Mhm.
and people were saying, "Oh, well, you stay up there. We don't want you," and
Wow.
you blah blah blah, and they're just tearing me apart. I'm thinking to myself, guys, I was just bashing myself and bashing Canada.
They
You know,
really
they-
understood the assignment.
They're just taking it right serious. Like, oh my
Task
God.
failed successfully.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yes, thank you and good night.
Take a
Yeah.
hug out of petty cash.
But at the same time, you know, it's and the joke continues. I know 100% that the president-elect of the United States has a sense of humor because he keeps poking that bear in his tweets. And at the end of
You're
the
talking
day,
about Elon. You're talking about Elon, right?
of course, yeah, Elon Musk, the president-elect. It's just people need something to bitch about. And it doesn't matter if you held up a sign that said, "This sign is white." Somebody would argue that it's not white because you used a black marker.
That's true.
Or the sky is blue. They're like, no, it's not.
No.
Anyway,
No.
we digress a little bit.
People
But it's
love-
fun. It's fun to poke at people.
Yeah. And that's the whole point is tickle the algorithm, get that interaction.
Mhm.
And to me, that's kind of what it's
Excuse me.
what it's all about.
But we've talked about this before. Your best videos. So what is currently your best video, be it short or long format? Would you say for like views and watch hours and that kind of stuff? Do you know that off the top of your head?
I do. So back in the early spring this year, we did head gaskets and tapping out the head bolt holes on a Kia Sorento V6. And I made a video, just a short video, condemning Kia for not recalling this problem, and how they knew it was a problem and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that video, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, is well over 1 million views.
Wow.
Nice.
In short form content. It's pretty funny that all you got to do is call out a car company, no matter which one it is, and there's going to be people who love it. There's going to be people who hate it. There's going to be people who are experts on mechanical issues, and there are going to be people who have zero clues as to why you made the video to begin with. People DM'd me insistently on, "Oh, I bought this. Is this going to be one of the problems I'm going to have? Should I beware?" It's like, look, if you bought a vehicle, here's my advice to the world today. If you bought any vehicle on the planet, you're going to have problems with it. How's that for you?
Thankfully, I
Wow.
bought a used SpaceX rocket, so I'm clear and free. My buddy, who's his fourth generation garage owner here in Newfoundland, his dad said it best. Someone asked while I was in the garage one day. Somebody asked. His name is Jerry. So he said, "Jerry, what's the best car to buy?" And so we have, as many towns have, we have a road in our town called Camount Road that has most of the dealerships on it. Like most of the car dealers are roughly on the same road in roughly the same area. So he said simply to me, he said, "Listen, what you want to do is you want to drive up Camount Road. You want to look at all the dealers." And he said, "The one that doesn't have a garage door with a service department, buy that car." And those are words to live by, my friends.
Well, and try being in the used car business. So I've been in the used car business for 16, 17 years now. And the amount of people that pull into your lot and look at your cars and pick apart the defects on these used cars with, 100, 150,000 kilometers or miles or
Jason, if
whatever.
I may, if I went to buy a car from you and I noticed that the door handles were painted with a brush, I also might pick it apart.
Trick of the trade, my friend. Trick of the trade. I'm just saying. If you don't know what he's talking about, my most recent video, tips and tricks to restoring your used car before you sell it.
Yeah. What to do? Let's get a bucket of paint. And the cheapest roller from the dollar store.
Yeah. Don't even use a roller from friggin' Walmart.
Actually, you know what? Don't even get the roller. Just take an old paper towel roll. Just apply it with that.
Just scrunch it up.
But yes, that is a very good video. You know, what did I call it? A Ray Charles 30-footer?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good looking car.
No, you called it a J. Charles.
Oh, did I? J. Charles. I thought it said a Ray Charles.
You might have spelled it wrong by mistake, but it said J. Charles.
That's
right. We call that good from far, but far from good.
Far from good. Yeah.
Well, better than it was, not as good as it could be.
That's true.
I specifically said in the video that it was a 30-footer. And somebody in the comments at one point said, "Oh, well, that doesn't look too bad from 20 feet away." I said, "I'll take it."
No, what they didn't tell you, it was 30 feet, but it's 30 feet underwater in a raging river.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, but I actually, talk about that project. I think that's really cool. I also love buying cars just before winter season to, get a decent beater with a heater, which is a phrase that I've got from Diesel Creek, but I'm sure it's been probably a phrase for a long time, but that's where I remember first hearing it because he had a Jeep that he bought a couple of years ago, and that's what he called it, the beater with the heater. And so, yeah, I thoroughly enjoy buying vehicles around this time of year to try to see how, far along they last. But yeah, I'm excited to see what you do with that, Jason. I told you, I think it looks like a podunky kind of like American sheriff couldn't afford a real like Interceptor. So they bought like a Ford Escape and tried to make it look like a police interceptor.
Nice.
So we don't have the budget for a Explorer. We do have a budget for a Ford Escape.
My brother-in-law does used car a lot.
Why are all those Ford cars like named after violent things, like Escape and Explorer
And Fiesta.
Yes.
Excursion.
Violent parties.
Edge.
Yes. Probe.
All I remember is is Jurassic Park.
Focus.
Jurassic Park, where they said no expense spared, and then the next shot it was a picture of a Ford Explorer. I was like, well, yeah, I guess some expenses were spared.
This one. Old discount dinosaurs.
Yeah. The Griswold family truckster.
Yes.
Which doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, you hate it now.
Where you drive it?
That's funny.
I thought I ordered the Arctic Blue Super Sports Wagon.
Yeah, nope.
So going back to a little bit of social media stuff that's happened the week, have you guys watched the video of the Kia dealership or the Hyundai dealership? Sorry, where the Hyundai goes through the showroom floor and hits that like 2 mile I think it was a 2000 Shelby Cobra.
Yes, a Shelby Cobra R.
R.
Yeah, it had like no miles on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had the one thing I saw. It had the insurance salesman. It said you hit what?
Yeah, you hit what? Sorry, and it was what's his name from Wolf of Wall Street, making like a twitchy eye.
Yeah, you hit a what? Yeah, that was fantastic. And the guy bringing his car back, that was a Subaru. He drove it through the dealership park, the dealership lot.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, someone should have took him aside. Like, listen, guy, you bought a Subaru. I don't know if anyone told you, but it's a Subaru.
Right. Well, at least he didn't buy a Saab.
Well, at least a Saab is somewhat GM and potentially cheap to fix.
Saab was the cheaper version of the GM's Cadillac because they used basically GM bodies.
Right.
But they had their own drivetrains. So
Yeah.
they were kind of
The
orphanated.
big thing they got in trouble with was and that's one of the reasons they were actually initially canceled in 2008 was because they were like, oh no, we're Saab, we're doing our own thing, and they would change things just slightly enough so that the parts couldn't be interchangeable anymore.
Nice.
And I remember they got in a lot of trouble. GM was like, no, you can't be at that. No, stop it.
Like if
And they
you
were
ordered
like,
a General Motors car on Temu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, you can get a Daewoo.
But you know what's really cool is Saab had that secret the secret speedometer. It would only
What?
show up after you got to 150, and then the rest of
it was 100. It was 100.
Was it 100, and then the rest of it would show up.
And then once you got past 100, the rest of the numbers would light up on it.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look it up.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Secret
It's-
speedometer on a Saab.
on a Saab.
Yeah.
I just thought that the Saab was the sound that the owner made after he bought it. Oh,
Yeah.
God. What have I done?
Well, at least for the first 3 years, as long as it had an extended warranty.
Wow.
And that actually goes back to another thing I'll briefly talk about. One of my coworkers had has a 2022, I think it is, or 20. I think it's 22. Toyota Corolla, good car, right? Lots of great car. The window regulator failed in it. Not covered under warranty. They are only warranted for 3 years.
Oh,
I thought that was really weird, but apparently, yeah, Toyota has a very low warranty. Oh, there you go.
You ready, John?
I am. Hit it.
It's the pedal on the right.
Hit it. Punch it,
There it is.
Margaret. Look at that.
Yep.
Now is that an LED screen or?
No, I
does
think it's
it
just
only-
lights.
It only
It's lights.
lights up.
Yeah, it only lights up that part of the odometer or the speedometer,
Oh.
and then once you
Okay.
reach that speed, it lights up another set of LEDs behind the.
Wow.
The funny thing is that it does light it up, but the car can't do it.
I see.
It teases you. It's like, hey, look, I could do this, but I
Right.
won't.
Yeah, what they didn't show you was that car with that speedometer was being dropped out of an airplane,
Right.
Wow.
reaching terminal velocity at about 90 mile an hour.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the 9.3 is actually a Subaru Impreza, is it not? Or was that the 9.5?
No idea. I don't know anything about them.
They call them the Subaru. Subaru.
I don't know.
There was a lot of weird stuff going on in the world of GM and that around that time.
I refuse to remember that cars are made after 2000.
So yeah, sorry, it's the 2005 Saab 92X Aero is actually a WRX Subaru.
Oh,
Yeah, just
So
rebadged.
it's got head gasket problems too.
Oh gosh, yes, and turbos and rot and chintzy plastic interior. But because it's a GM product, nobody noticed. But chintzy plastic interiors. It's like this table I'm on right now. One of these folding tables. That's what the car is made out of.
does the exhaust sound like a harmonica or a kazoo?
No. Subaru has got a nice burble to it.
Ah,
So yeah,
because I remember the Subaru commercials. The guy was shifting.
Yeah.
Subaru.
head gaskets. You missed the last part of the video.
Head gasket.
Well, the funny thing is, if you're ever traveling behind a Subaru, especially if it's a turbo flavored,
Right.
it's often difficult to tell whether or not the driver is vaping or it's got a head gasket issue.
Oh,
It's very difficult.
that's true.
The best thing I can tell you, if it smells like strawberries, it's probably
Yeah.
not the head gasket.
Yeah.
Right. Why does your vape smell like coolant?
Shit.
That burble sound is the coolant in the exhaust.
Help me. Yeah, so one of the things we often talk about on this when we're doing everything is apparently everybody thinks I hate Dodge because the last video we did together, I shit on Dodge for the whole video, but I didn't shit on Dodge. Just
You didn't.
listen, if they
you
made a
didn't
good
even do it
car,
for the whole video. You did it for like 2.5 seconds.
2 seconds. And listen,
all
if
they
Dodge
remember-
made a good vehicle, I wouldn't shit on them. It's an
Wow.
easy formula. But no, in all fairness, Stellantis. What do you guys think? What's the future hold for them? Do you think they're going to go belly up? Do you think that a new CEO is going to be able to save the day? I mean, unless they're cloning Lee Iacocca, I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know. I did not know what Stellantis was. I thought it was a lost city.
No, that's Atlantis. That's actually where they store the reliable Dodges. They're stored in Atlantis. Yeah.
Well, I just remember the Dodge. If you look up the meaning of it, it says Dodge, and in parentheses says to avoid.
To avoid, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. But I mean, any new blood should hopefully help. But unless they're going to pull a Hail Mary, and actually, you know what? I do think they have a Hail Mary.
He's not new blood though.
No, it's a new existing.
Have
they announced the person?
Yeah, they did. He retired.
Okay.
He's the same guy responsible for the Hellcats.
Oh, okay, gotcha. They just brought him back.
Hellcats and everything. And he retired back in May and come out of retirement to kind of take over general operations.
I have a
unless
question.
he's going to be putting the Hellcat back into things, it's going to be hard to save Chrysler, Dodge.
Right. I have a question. Is it Lee Iacocca in a wig?
Yes.
No.
They're Weekend at Bernie's. The guy
We need a new K car.
if you can find a better Dodge, buy it.
I think their Hail Mary is the new 1500. And I'd like to discuss this. The new 1500 with the Pentastar 3.6, I think it is, or 3.8, the V6. And it's the engine's purpose is only to range extend the electricity. It's an electric truck, but it is a truck. It's much the similar way that Ford did their Lightning. They started with a truck, and they kept it a truck. So it has a frame, it has a proper body, proper payload ability. But the neat thing is they're touting 1,000 miles to a tank.
Yeah, because they're thinking they're going to get
not a charge. It's a battery power. It's got a battery pack. It's like a hybrid. It's a diesel electric. It's like a train, but it's gas powered. It's got e-axles, so all the wheels are driven by electric motors.
Okay.
There's a battery pack for your town driving. You'll get a couple of 100 miles out of it.
Okay.
And then there's a V6 engine in the engine bay where it belongs. It's called a range extender, and it sits there, and it sits at a constant RPM, chewing some gas, generating electricity to power those electric motors. And they're saying 1,000 miles to a tank.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it.
I think that if there is to be a saving grace of anything Dodge coming out, if they can get that to market and it doesn't totally suck, which hopefully it doesn't. I mean, the Ram is a nice truck normally.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll save them. I think they will sell those hand over fist. Anybody who is weary about buying a Lightning or thinks the Stiver truck looks like a dumpster or doesn't want to jump on the new Chevy electric truck.
I think their saving grace is going to be the first ones to the market with it.
Mm.
I mean, technically, Edison Motors is doing it now with their first truck. It's their principle.
Yeah.
But if Chrysler or Ram can get to the market first with this technology, then I think everyone else will follow as long as the government is okay with it, right?
Well, I mean, you look at Ford already said they're shutting down Lightning production for at least 6 months?
6 months.
Yeah, because of not enough demand, too much surplus, and they're losing $36,000 per vehicle.
Wow!
Yeah. Right, so I understand. First in, you're going to pay all the money for the R&D, but that has to be a hard pill for Ford, especially the shareholders, to swallow. What do you mean we're losing $36,000 per truck? This is nuts, right?
Right.
So
silly.
I'm optimistic. And I always thought the diesel electric train type setup was the best merger of the two worlds, we'll say, especially for anybody who has to do work with their vehicles. A purely electric, and I don't want to get down this rabbit hole again, but a purely electric vehicle works great as a city runabout, as a secondary car, as a point A to point B. Traveler, you're going to the grocery store, you're going to work. You only live a couple of kilometers or a couple of miles from work. Totally makes sense. But especially in my province, where if I want to get off the island, I have to drive 10 to 12 hours, take a ferry, and then drive another 4 or 5 hours before I get to true civilization again. That's not going to be easily done in an electric vehicle, a purely electric. I mean, so
why? And I've always asked this, and this is being silly. Why does electric vehicles not take the rotational energy movement of the wheels to recharge a battery?
They kind of do with that with the braking. The braking is they do regenerative braking, so they take electricity from the process of braking and refeed. But I mean, that's any system is going to have loss, so that only works for as long as you have power to push the vehicle. But that only kind of adds a little bit of extra time to the inevitable, which is your battery dying. And again, I have no problem with electrics, other than they are not. I guess the messiah complex that comes with people who adopt electrics and the electrics. Right, but I'm excited to see this thing from Dodge. I'm optimistic for them. I don't want to see. I am a big believer in competition, and competition breeds innovation and all that kind of stuff. So I would hate to see a third of the American car domestic market disappear. I think that would be terrible. So as much as I don't particularly like Dodge cars. And the Ram is, in my mind, the third truck you think about. I don't want to see them gone. So anybody who said I hate them, it's not true. I don't hate them. I just hate them less than other things.
Strong dislike.
I hate Volkswagen.
Yeah, exactly. You hate Volkswagen. I love Volkswagen, but I also know they're garbage. So it's like I have no I'm not looking at them through rose-colored glasses. So yeah,
I refuse to believe that Volkswagen made any car after 1967.
Interesting. I saw a really great, and I'll share this here because you guys will find it funny as well. A great thing. It was a lady talking about how she can no longer have her Tesla because she no longer supported a CEO who has such very terrible beliefs and treats people poorly and blah blah blah. And she said, so I sold my Tesla and I bought an ID4 Volkswagen. Everybody commented on it. You hate the CEO of Tesla. You're going to really love the founder of Volkswagen.
Right.
Yep. And we've already said it
tonight. For you.
Yeah. We've already said it a couple of times tonight. You think you hate it now.
Right.
Wait till you'll drive it.
And then everybody's like, oh, Ferdinand Porsche founded it. I'm like, no, boys. No. Ferdinand was there. Don't get me wrong.
Wait a second. Let me let you collect these little stamps in this book.
Yeah. And by the way, we're not actually going to fulfill it because we lose the war. And it wasn't until 1960 that they finally were able to get their money back. Bippity boppity.
You win some, you lose some.
So part of the purpose of having this live stream tonight was really, here we are 57 minutes into this live stream, and we're only getting to it now. The purpose was to kind of highlight some of the things that have happened in 2024 and what we are looking forward to in 2025. So it's really just around the corner. It's only 6 days away.
Right.
We're talking about what are some of the highlights that we should be talking. What happened in 2025 or 24 that we are happy about, things that brought us some joy, things that we had a lot of fun doing. I know one of them for me was flying to Wichita, Kansas, and making a road trip back to Maine and into New Brunswick for me with John and Grant when I bought that Suburban.
That was fun.
Lean this way. There's the Suburban in the background.
It's not actually there.
Virtually, we had no issues with this thing.
I fixed the air conditioning.
John fixed the AC.
Did it run out of gas?
It did not.
Oh, perfect.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there's a hammer.
I can fix it again.
Jason said what things that happened in 2024. My mind instantly went. I could hear "Fortunate Son" playing, and I could hear helicopter blades and a rice paddy field.
Yes.
Ooh, it takes me back.
So, for those of you who don't know,
Jason, you're blurry.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why.
No, he's in witness protection. This is how we make sure nobody knows where he lives.
Witless.
Ooh, witless protection.
Witless protection.
That was a movie.
It was.
So, for those of you who don't know, Grant, who is in the chat, is the fourth member of the party here tonight. A little bit under the weather, couldn't join us. One of the big events that happened to him was becoming a dad. Him and his wife had the opportunity to adopt, and they did. And becoming parents, if you haven't done it yet, is the biggest life-changing event that you'll ever go through. Next to maybe getting married, if you're sentimental that way,
or owning a square body.
If you're not married, buying that first square body truck, it's the same thing.
Same thing. In fact, some would argue the square body's cheaper.
Not in today's market.
Have you seen a divorce?
So becoming a parent for Grant, John, what's a big event for you that happened in 2024?
Wow. I don't know, man. It's a blur. I really liked hanging out, going on road trip.
Yep.
I really liked going to McCacken. Going to McCacken. Me and Paul went to McCacken, and we saw a ton of stuff. And we talked with a whole lot of people. So we'll be having a whole lot of content drop here very shortly. And it's all centered around barn find cars. It's centered around, I still have, there you go. I forgot about that one.
You're not supposed to say the inside your head thing out loud there, John.
I'm yeah, we had fun at McCacken, and we had a lot of things. My significant other reminded me that I am now an official pop. I'm a grandpa, so that was fun.
Exciting.
My grandson will be 1 year old very soon in January.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's exciting. What date in January?
17.
Okay. I am also a January baby, so I was wondering if we shared a date. We do not.
No, 17.
Awesome.
Yeah, we did all sorts of things. We had tons of fun, but 2024 was a blur.
Oh yeah. I still think it's 2019.
I was saying to my wife just the other day, I said, here we are, Christmas is creeping up on us this year, and 2024 has sailed through so very quickly that you don't realize just how quickly time passes when you're waiting for something that seems to go slow. But when life is busy, you just sail through it, and you're like, whoa, what happened there? On that road trip, there was a lot of things that we did on that road trip, John, that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
One of them, we got to meet Cletus McFarland.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
We did the Cletus and Cars there in Indianapolis that weekend, that Friday night.
Yep.
Saw the big Crown Vic race, and we got to meet up with a few others there, a few other YouTubers and friends that follow us on online there at Summit, where we met up with Allie and her wife. We also got to Pennsylvania, where we met up with Hammer Down Motorsports, as well as Novitaz. And when we get into Maine, we met up with Flipping Customize. We went into his place and saw what little operation he's got going on there. Yep. And we do want to try and plan some sort of a road trip for 25. There's one that John and I had talked about, which will be literally the ultimate road trip. If you guys are familiar with C10 trucks and square body trucks and all that stuff, every fall there's an event in Phoenix, Arizona called Dino's Get Down. And that is 3,000 miles one way for me from New Brunswick. And I'm not 100% sold on it. I'd love to do it. But it would more than likely be a 2-week trip for me to drive out there, do the show, drive back, catch some sights. One of my goals in life is to mark off every U.S. state and every Canadian province on a road trip. And although living in Canada, I've not made every Canadian province, and I've got quite a few U.S. states ticked off, kind of that bucket list. And making a trip to Phoenix, you could cross half a dozen more off that I have never been to. So,
right.
But I'm not sure that's the one. It's kind of the one that came to mind for both John and I. Worst case, Ontario. We do another C10s in the city in Atlanta, maybe, or some sort of a show down the East Coast. But either way, we'll figure something out. We'll do a nice big road trip. We'll try and do something with include Grant in there again. We'll try not to say anything about bringing Ryan. Oh, hey, Ryan, he's back. It'd be great.
Here the whole time.
It would be great to have Ryan come along, but it's a day's trip for Ryan just to get to where I am from where he is.
30-hour drive.
Yeah.
Well, technically,
no, not
16
30.
of
I mean,
those.
it's a 30-hour trip.
Yes, 16 of those are on a ferry.
Yeah. So, but either way you look at
16
it,
hours of that would be on a ferry?
Sorry, 10 are on a ferry. Depends on which ferry I take. If I take the one closest to my town, it's 2-hour drive and a 16-hour ferry ride. Or if I drive for 10 hours,
16-hour ferry ride. I'm hearing that right?
yes, yeah.
And if I drive for 10 hours, it's an 8-hour ferry ride.
Wow. Wow.
So put that into perspective, folks. Next time you're on Google Maps or Apple Maps, look up Newfoundland.
Yep.
And
big triangle, far as east you can go.
Yep. And you'll see just how far it is to cross the water to get to the nearest mainland.
Well, as I always find really funny, like Europeans and Americans talk about, oh, we have to drive for so long or take a train or whatever. I'm like, guys, I could drive for a whole day and still be in Northern Ontario. Like Canada is, well, we're the second largest country in the world, correct?
Yes.
Second largest. Russia is only the one slightly larger than us.
Yep.
Like we're big. All right, Newfoundland is about, I think Newfoundland is the size of, well, I looked this up before. Is it Texas?
It's just it's not so much the size of it, it's the way it's laid out and the major roads that go through it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But either way you look at it, a road trip in 25 is something that's going to be in the books. We'll have to figure it out. It's all about time off.
To give you an example, New Brunswick, where you live, is 72,908 kilometers squared. Newfoundland is 405,221 kilometers squared.
So what's the kilometerage on that?
Well, that's what I'm saying, kilometers squared. So that's just the footprint.
Yeah.
So, sorry, the island portion is only 108. So this is including our Labrador portion because there's two parts to my province: a mainland and a island portion. So the island is slightly larger than New Brunswick. It's about 25% larger than New Brunswick. To give you an idea.
So the people just that started that, they just got there and said, "Forget it, we're not leaving."
So basically, what happened was everybody came over to fish. They only need to do it on the East Coast to fish because they don't care. It's not like we didn't go inland. They were just like, well, we got to fish, so we're going to stay here by the ocean. And then they would leave, and they would sometimes, and eventually they made settlements and stuff. But eventually, Canada got, founded, and Newfoundland was its own country for years. We didn't join Confederation or Canada until 1949. At that point, the only way to get anywhere in Newfoundland was coastal boats because there was no interior. Nobody went into the interior. There was no need to. It wasn't until we joined Canada and we got the sweet, what's it called? Sweet. I want to say communist money, but it's socialist money that we were able to actually put the Trans-Canada Highway in, which transverses the entire island. But up until that point, if you wanted to drive, you could drive at certain spots in the province, but you would have to take a ferry or a boat to literally circumvent around the island to get to different spots.
Wow.
Yeah.
No official roads.
Not at the time. Not back in the day. No.
Wow.
It wasn't until this century or the last century. 1900, we'll say.
It wasn't until May of 2024.
Yeah, we only got indoor plumbing there last month. It's fantastic, man. These toilets are so loud.
But they've got dial-up now, so
yeah, we have dial-up.
That's true.
Actually, it's funny. My internet connection at my house, I just upgraded to 3 gigabit, and I have better internet than some people have in downtown Toronto, which I think is the funniest thing in the world. Island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
So,
fantastic
having
internet.
said that, Ryan, maybe Newfoundland would be a road trip for the summer.
We do have a fantastic, there's lots of stuff to see. When the weather is nice, it's beautiful. When the weather is shit,
John's
it's terrible.
Passport.
Well, in fairness, like Grant flew over Newfoundland. He went to Iceland, I think, or was it Greenland, or
Iceland.
one of the two. Iceland.
Yeah.
So he's kind of flown over us. So I hear there are dinosaurs and Vikings still roaming around Newfoundland. Vikings, we actually and Lanson Meadow, which is on the very northern peninsula of the triangle. So if you look at the triangle, it's on the very tip of the triangle. That's actually where the Vikings landed in 1000 something. So they were actually the first allegedly the first. They were the first Europeans. And then around 1300, St. Brendan was supposed to have landed here, an Irish monk. Not really sure if that's...
Well, Christopher Columbus gets all the glory.
Yeah, but Cabot and the Vikings technically found it first. So,
yeah, because Christopher Columbus.
Are you going to get a T-shirt that's got a DeLorean on it that says Newfoundland, where we're going, we don't need any roads?
Exactly right. That's true. well, it's funny. I already have a DeLorean. It's right. Oh, you can't see it. It's right up there.
Nice.
DeLorean.
Oh, perfect.
Up there on the shelf. There it is, and it's the back. It's the actual one from the second movie.
Yeah.
So it's the one that's all done up with the Mr. Fusion on the back of it.
Nice. Yeah, where we're going, we don't need any roads.
Yeah.
But
there's a T-shirt idea, Ryan.
Yeah, there you go. Well, actually, I would say that about all of Canada. Where we're going, we don't need any roads. And good thing, because it's mostly potholes.
And the roads we got are shit.
Thanks, Canada.
Yeah.
Blame it on Canada.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. Yeah, so a Newfoundland road trip would be awesome, because just to give you guys an idea of the road trip that would be involved just for me to get to Newfoundland is an 8-hour road trip to the ferry terminal.
To North Sydney, yep.
North Sydney. And if we go to Port aux Basques, that's an 8-hour ferry ride. And then once you get to Newfoundland, it's 10-hour drive from Port aux Basques.
Now, the great thing about it is Sean's new house and garage is an hour, not even an hour, 45 minutes from Port aux Basques. So you could stop at Sean's way on your way in, and you can see all his cool stuff that he's got. And to see it's a very cute little community.
So it's 10 hours from the ferry to St. John's, where
it depends on how fast you drive. If you go by the speed limit, it's 10 hours.
Yeah,
maybe 11.
And there's two.
If you drive for everybody else, it's 8.5 to a 9.
Yeah, there's 2 moose to every person on Newfoundland.
Yes, we have 2 moose for every person here. So
wow, that sounds like a Beach Boys song.
2 moose for every person.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, it's a 16-hour ferry ride to go to Argentia, which 2 hours.
And I'll be honest, the ferry, it's new. That ferry's new, so it's a lot nicer, but it is a pretty rough ride if the seas are not calm. I know. Ironic.
And one of the things you don't want to see when you get onto a sea crossing ferry is the bad storm pictures that they post on the walls of the ferry.
Yeah. Or when you see them take out the gigantic links of chain and strap down the transport trucks, you're like, okay, guys.
Shit just got real.
Right.
Like those chains, if the transport truck was upside down, the chains would hold the transport truck to the deck.
Yes.
That's concerning. There actually it is. They're on Gander Lake, which is in sort of central Newfoundland, where there was it's an international airport, and there was U.S. military there. There's actually a couple of U.S. military airplanes crashed. There's a couple of cool sites that you can visit. The U.S. military service guys drove their cars across Gander Lake in the wintertime and left them on the other side of the lake. So there are actually pictures, and I can probably find them, of Fiat 600s. A pair of Fiat 600s just parked in the woods because they drove them across and they just left them.
We're done with that.
Yeah, we're done. It was a terrible idea. You hated it. What is it? You think it looks? You hate it now? You're gonna really hate it when you drive.
You hate it now. Wait till you drive it.
Yes,
John.
Yeah, there's lots of examples of that. And when the U.S. military moved out of Newfoundland, because they had 3 bases here. They literally bulldozed the entire base into the ground. So there are actually Willys Jeeps, because I've seen people find them in the ground. They just bulldozed D5 cat, just pushing cars, airplanes, everything into gigantic holes, raw, questionable chemicals, and now they're actually back. It's a super fund pack or super pack fund cleanup now. We're one of the only places in outside of the United States that actually has that designation. It's 2 of the places in Newfoundland. Because you guys literally were just like, oh, well, use motor oil? Yeah, we'll throw that in the hole. Well, nuclear waste? Yeah, throw that in the hole.
So, John, I think Joanne is probably still in the chat.
Mhm.
If she is, we need to make a T-shirt for Get Out and Drive podcast
Right.
that says, "You think you hate it now?
Mm-hmm.
You get out and drive it."
Get out and drive it. Oh, I like that.
Yes. Think you
I
hate
was
it now.
thinking-
Wait till you get out and drive it.
Yeah.
I was thinking you can also do like we're the most easterly point in North America. Now, technically, if you talk to geologists, Greenland is the most easterly point in North America, but that doesn't count because that's Europe. We are the most easterly point in North America. So you can go as far east and you have to come to us. So you can have some fun with that, you know, your farthest east, and then maybe next time you go the farthest west, which I think is somewhere in Alaska, which is probably a bit much of a... Actually, there's a point in Alaska where it becomes... I learned this the other day when watching a geography video. There's a point in Alaska where it becomes the farthest east and the farthest west.
Yeah.
Because that's the cutoff on the 110 date line or whatever it is. Yeah, so it has both the not the Aleutian Islands. There's the islands that stick off the edge of Alaska that kind of go down like a swoop. Half of them are in the most easterly point, and half of them are in the most westerly point. Pretty cool.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah, geography nerd.
So moving forward into 2025, there is a couple of things that we can probably leak, seeing how there's only 5 people watching.
Okay.
Probably not much of a whistleblow. But we have secured some financial sponsorship for the Get Out and Drive podcast. And the Get Out and Drive podcast in 2025 will be fueled by John
Auto Metal Direct.
Ooh, AMD. They make fantastic processors.
Yeah, not those guys.
What?
No,
Oh,
Auto Metal
that's not
Direct. And we had the fortunate opportunity to meet some of those guys down in Atlanta, Georgia, when we were down there, not in 2024, but in 2023, when we drove Dale for that road trip. That was a good time. So we managed to secure a sponsorship to help boost the Get Out and Drive podcast to move us forward, as well as to hopefully bring Auto Metal Direct more to the forefront in their industry as well. So that is big news that came down last week. We're pretty excited about that. So from in 2025, you'll see a lot of our branding incorporate Auto Metal Direct as well. So
which is funny because a lot of your cars already incorporate a lot of AMD replacement sheet metal.
Right.
Well, they certainly will. The Suburban. The Suburban is going to get some sheet metal here
That's
very
awesome.
quick in the new year. So
now, did you do the whole Johnny Cash thing when you were in their plant? Take a piece at a time, you know, so that by the time you get out, you could build a whole new square body.
it's a 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong. I believe I saw at SEMA. Did they not have a full square body, like put together with all the bits?
The cab,
the cab and the box, maybe, or the sides.
Yep. So I don't think AMD makes the cab. I think there's another company that makes the cab by itself, which they sell.
Right.
But they also produce all the sheet metal. So long box, short box, fenders, hoods, bumpers, grills, tailgates, you name it for a square body. It's pretty good opportunity for them to have what you need.
Awesome.
Yeah. But they don't just do square bodies. That's one of the big things that they're pushing in 2025 is, you know, they do more than just sheet metal for square bodies. They got sheet metal for Galaxy, for Chrysler B-body. There's a lot of different stuff that they're getting into, Ford trucks as well. So although where they got started was with the square body trucks, they do far more than just that, and that's going to be their big thing in 2025 is pushing the fact that, you know, we do more than just sheet metal too.
Right.
So more than metal, I think, John, is their mantra.
More than
Yep.
metals. They do bumpers and plastics and stuff now as well.
Yep.
I mean, you said they do grills, so obviously they must
Yep,
be also
they do
headlights.
grills, headlight bezels,
Okay.
dash covers, dash inserts.
Oh, dashes. That's impressive. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, so they do a
'Cause
lot.
those
of
are
that.
always cracked to crap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Although I will
but
say,
that's
one
typical
time
of
I
it.
shipped a dash from here to the United States because in Canada we don't lose our dashes because of the sun, because we don't see the sun.
Well, on spare body.
On the island, yes. Fun. Well, that's
But anyway,
exciting. So
that's what's new for Get Up and Drive podcast is having some actual title sponsorship, and we are
Awesome.
looking for one more title sponsorship, and that would be for Drive Day, National Get Up and Drive Day. So for the 5 of you who are watching, maybe 4 less Joanne, if you know of any companies who would like to be the title sponsorship of the National Get Out and Drive Day, which happens on the first Sunday of October every year. This year will be our 6th National Get Out and Drive Day.
Time flies so fast.
Sure does.
indeed. So yeah,
Get out and drive in
I missed
2025.
I missed the what was really important in 2026 or 2024. What else did you guys mention? I know you had a grandson, and then I had to go and relieve myself.
Oh,
Well-
I said I had a grandson, and then I said I had fun at McCacken, and
Oh, okay,
and we went to a couple different shows, and it was fun.
cool. That's exciting. Are you thinking about doing SEMA again this year, guys? Are you?
We'll have to look and see.
It's not off the table, but it's a lot of effort to do SEMA. It's a lot of walking.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And although as fun as SEMA is, it's about outweighing the benefit to the cause, whether it's A,
Just do something
financially
else.
feasible, but
Yep.
B, is it feasible for us promotion-wise to be there doing what we do while we're there?
Right.
Uh-oh, Jason's stuck.
Am I?
Jason's stuck. I can
You
still
were?
hear him.
I was.
Yeah, you were on the death spiral.
Oh,
Oh.
weird. I guess the internet is doing something funny in Illinois.
Well,
But-
look, guys, we are coming up here on an hour and a half. It's 10:30, almost 10:30 my time, which is pushing it to 11 Ryan's time. So, unlike the rest of you guys who are out in the Midwest somewhere, it's getting late.
Indeed.
So, what's happening in 2025 for Ryan? We didn't talk about that.
2025. This September I took a proper teaching position at the school that I work at. Before I was just doing IT, but now I'm actually teaching this semester. So it's been great to get back in the classroom. I've been out of the classroom since I stopped teaching at the university, so it was nice to get back. A little different teaching teenagers than it is teaching older people and college students. So it's a bit of a learning curve, but it's been a bit of fun. So I'm looking forward to continuing doing that. Hopefully into the rest of the year and maybe even to next year, if they allow. I am starting a new business actually I'm starting 2 new businesses. One with myself. I'm taking over my IT clients from the consulting firm that I currently work with. I'm taking them over to my own firm starting January 1. So that's pretty fun. Very excited, trying to get all that figured out. And I'm also starting another sort of side hobble with a former business partner. We're going to get into some cool tech stuff, as well as I've been toying around with the idea of doing some vintage technology nautical replacements. So there are a lot of boats in Canada and the United States that have ancient systems on board that are not really economically feasible to replace. However, doing some work to those systems and ensuring that they last for another 10, 15 years is very cost benefit to a lot of shipping industry. So I'm looking at possibly starting a company to do that. So that's pretty exciting. And it's incredibly lucrative because if you look at the cost of replacing some of these systems, it is terrifyingly expensive. So if I can do it for 10% of the cost, most of those businesses are going to say yes. So, other than that, one of the greatest things of 2024 that I've been very happy about is my niece is actually in the school that I work at. So she's in kindergarten, so I get to visit her on the regular. So it's really kind of cool to see her growing and learning and experiencing, what is kindergarten, I guess. So that's kind of exciting. We don't have kids, so this is the next best thing for me. It's fantastic because I can sugar her and her sister up and just bring them back to the parents when they're absolute nightmares. So it's a good system. I'm quite happy with it. So that's it. And I would love to get off. Actually, we are planning a trip to Halifax for the summer, as well as a road trip to Toronto, technically, or we're going to see Weird Al Yankovic in July.
Nice.
So hopefully that pans out. And it was just announced that my favorite band, who, a little side story, my wife got me tickets to see the Killers, who happen to be my favorite band, in Vegas, the Christmas of 2019. And we all know what happened in March of 2019. So you can imagine or 2020, I should say. So that trip was obviously canceled and those tickets were refunded. But it turns out the Killers may be coming to my province in 2025. So that is very exciting because it's been a lifelong dream to see them. And they don't often play outside of Vegas. So it's often difficult to time and flight and that kind of stuff. And I'll say the last thing I did this year, which was one of my dreams as well, is I went to the Vintage Computer Festival in Chicago, Illinois in September. It's my first time being in Chicago. It's a beautiful city, fantastic people, fantastic. Your highways are crazy. I will say the drivers are absolutely insane. I don't understand what's happening. And that's not coming from someone who doesn't drive on fast, crazy roads. I've driven in Ontario and stuff. Like, it's just as crazy, but you're a different level of crazy.
Come on down to St. Louis.
And he didn't get shot, folks.
And I didn't get shot. Yeah, that was key. It was fantastic. We went to Schaumburg in just outside of Chicago, and I got to meet some of my fellow retro tech friends, and it was fantastic. So I'm looking forward to going again in September. Which is really, really exciting, although it happens to be the opening day of school. So they tend to be a little weary of me not being there, the IT guy on the opening day, but we'll work something out.
That's the thing with IT is it can be done remotely.
Exactly. I don't have to be in the room. I can be on a nice beach somewhere.
And something also coming with the Get Out and Drive podcast that we've been working on for a long time.
Yes.
A greater YouTube presence in the form of some type of live stream like you're watching tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about something specific. It will involve myself and Grant Tommy, who is Straight Six fan. He was in the chat a little while ago with Ryan as kind of our producer guy. And trying to put something together. We have a few episodes recorded, kind of ready to roll, but when Grant got the call for the adoption, that kind of just put things on hold for us for a while. We're hoping early 2025 will bring that to light. I'm not sure if we've ever mentioned what the podcast or live stream is going to be called, but again, there's only 6 of you here, so you'll get to hear it first. It's going to be called The Breakdown, powered by the Get Out and Drive podcast. So stay tuned. Any of you guys who are OG Car Guy and Six fans, it's going to be along the same lines as what we were doing over there. We had great success with that, but it just kind of came to an end at one point. We've had a few years off, and it's time to get back together and kind of put the band back together again with a little more detail. And that will be something happening in 2025. And we appreciate Joanne helping us out to kind of tail onto the Get Out and Drive podcast using that brand, and it will be taking place over on the Get Out and Drive podcast YouTube channel. So same place every week instead of switching back and forth like we used to on Grant and his channel. So, it just makes it easier for everyone to find. And hopefully something that will happen on a regular basis.
And it will also be available in where you get your normal podcasts.
Yes, absolutely. So having said all of that, guys, if you don't listen to the Get Out and Drive podcast, I think I've left that information in the description box. If I haven't, I will. Anything car related, and sometimes not. John and I banter back and forth on the Get Up and Drive podcast, and that can be found anywhere you get your favorite podcasts. And we have a lot of fun over there. John and I have been doing it, I think in March. It will be, 3 years for the two of us?
3 years.
Yeah. So we've got lots of great episodes. We've interviewed lots of great people. We've been to lots of great places. SEMA in 2022 and PRI in 2023. And John just got back from the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals in Chicago last month. So we've got lots of content coming out there as well. So having said all of that, I thank everybody for joining us for this 1.5 hour long live stream. We talked some crap, we had some fun, and at the very end of the night, we're going to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and thank you guys for being a part of what it is that we do over here. And hope everyone stays safe, has fun, and we'll end this episode with one last little ho, ho, ho. Anybody have any last remarks they want to add? John?
No, I don't think so. Need to make sure that everybody knows Get Out and Drive in 2025.
I like it.
I like it too. Keep your stick on the ice. Glenn
Keep your
said.
stick was fantastic. I'm wearing a red-green shirt. This is a red-green official shirt.
Nice.
That works out well.
Ryan, thanks for being here tonight and helping us
Thanks for
kind of
having me.
put this thing through. John, thanks for being a part. And we'll see you
Anytime.
guys on the next one.
Always fun.
All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you all
See you guys.
later.